I don't know what to say, really. 3 minutes to the biggest battle of our professional lives. All comes down to today. Either we heal as a team, or we're going to crumble. Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished. We're in hell right now, gentlemen. Believe me. And we can stay here, get the shit out of us, or we can fight our way back into the light. We can climb out of hell. 1 inch at a time. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old. I look around, I see these young faces, and I think, I mean, I made every wrong choice a middle-aged man can make. I pissed away all my money, believe it or not. I chased off anyone who's ever loved me. And lately, I can't even stand the face I see in the mirror. You know, when you get old in life, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. So is football. Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with our fingernails for that inch. Because we know when we add up all those inches, that's going to make the difference between winning and losing. Between living and dying. I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's going to win that inch. And I know if I'm going to have any life anymore, it's because I'm still willing to fight and die for that inch. Because that's what living is. There's 6 inches in front of your face. Now, I can't make you do it. You gotta look at the guy next to you. Look into his eyes. Now, I think you're gonna see a guy who will go that inch with you. You're gonna see a guy who will sacrifice himself for this team because he knows when it comes down to it, you're gonna do the same for him. That's a team, gentlemen. And either we heal now, as a team, or we will die as individuals. That's football, guys. That's all it is. Now, what are you gonna do?
I do it again. Ain't worried about it. They slip. Confidential when I'm dealing with Sneak. I lost my dog. Diamond collar with a pick of his face. Man, it's Spain. Circle back to the bay. Yay. Hit a late in the hill with the grade. I say, eat, I eat no. Catch a hopper like a fish. I say, get that. Try to holler. Let me know. Take it to the side. Get ready to come. See, I can't break the.
Hey, what's up, America? It's a new exciting adventure live from the Evans studio. Yeah, It's father plus son plus football podcast. Season 3, episode 7. I am the
And I am the son.
That's what's up. That's the son. I used to call him Son Boy. He's starting to he's getting real close to looking at me in the eye. I think that it has a lot to do with him wearing his shoes. The soles of his shoes are a little thicker than maybe they ought to be.
Nah. No, don't say that.
I'm just
I'll have my easy slides on, or I'll be barefoot, and I'll be.
Oh no, no,
here. I'm right here.
barefoot.
I'm right there.
You're close. You're close, but you're not. And understand, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting. I want you to be as tall as your Uncle Alex.
Yeah, he's pretty tall.
He's like what, 6'4"?
Something like that.
Yeah, I would love it. Imagine you at 6'4". That's the genetic jackpot. I need your mom's genes to kind of kick in a little bit. She's not helping facially. She's not helping with the physical looks. That's all from me. But I need that 6'4" gene to start kicking in.
Yeah, me too. I need to kick in. I need to be now.
What's been going on, man? What's going on in your world?
And, we caught our first dub on Friday. I had 3 touchdowns. I think that's my career high as far as touchdowns in one game.
Yeah, you've never had 3. You almost had a 4th. The school hasn't had an athlete score 4 touchdowns. I think Dean Taylor Chapman was probably the last athlete to score 3 touchdowns. Did Jaden Bryant, did he ever score 3 touchdowns in the game?
I think 3, maybe 4. I don't know. Who knows? 4. Oh, well, maybe 3.
3. That's what's up. All right, let's let the people know what today's broadcast is about. Again, y'all know our music. Rio 900. I said eeny, meeny, miny, mo. What's the other part? I always think it's
catch a op.
I don't know. Let him go.
Catch a op looking like a fish. Don't let him go.
Go.
I think it's like that.
Like a fish and let him go.
Don't let him go.
Oh, I'm going to say you can't let an op go if you catch him like a fish. He'll get you later. All right. You want to support Seth QUYN Evans? Hit up the Cash App. Bitter Cup Media. All proceeds go to him, and whatever you give him means I got to double it. I gave you $40 today. You got a field trip tomorrow, right?
Yep. Social justice leadership immersion.
What's that about? Well, it's a lot of words. What are you doing?
All right. So first, we're going to be taking Bart to Pier 39. Then after we go to Pier 39, we're going to go walk around the city a little bit. We're going to take cable cars. Then we're going to go to a place called Up on Top in the Tenderloin. It's like a daycare for kids, pretty much, like their school. I was there last year for social justice, just regular social justice, and for hopes to get on social justice leadership, which I am now. So, yeah. And then after that, we go to Ghirardelli Square, and then we'll head back and I have practice.
Ghirardelli Square. You're gonna get a hot fudge sundae or brownie.
I'm banging on it, but I have practice a little later, so I'm not really sure how that's gonna turn out. Because
I love that you have these opportunities to eat bad, but you think about, what? That's gonna show up in the game and practice, and I can't afford it. I love that discipline. All right, let's go. Let's continue on. Who's our special guest today?
My Auntie Chandra.
Auntie
Chandra.
Y'all ain't heard nobody with y'all thought I had energy. Y'all thought that I was out there. Oh, wait till you meet my sister. You know what I always struggle with when I think about her last name? I'm like, is it a B or is it a P? I gotta remind it's a B. It's a B.
Yeah.
I'd be always worried about getting it wrong. Her husband's dope. Your Uncle Cameron. Dope.
Absolutely.
Dope. All right, what else?
I prepared for Balboa High School and getting the win.
Yeah. Yeah, we had to prepare for Balboa, and
That's a W. Let's eat one.
we got to. You scored 3 touchdowns against the defending state champions. Ooh-wee. All right, what else?
Varsity game film highlights: Week 4 versus Balboa High School.
And then we got
weekly piano bingo challenge. Do we have one this week?
You didn't give me one this week. We're going to talk about that because what we got to do is because we don't want to slow down the mood of the podcast, but we got to talk about what we have done thus far, and you got to give me a challenge for next week. Then we can be back on track.
I'm gonna start brainstorming.
Because last week we had Bo Polcha.
Yeah.
And we had to do
that
it
on
with
Thursday
because this time last week we were in Portland watching Lewis and Clark. So we had to like record the podcast at like 3 a.m.
Yep.
And I was like, if I fire up this piano and start playing it, your mother and your sister are gonna go 51. They're gonna make the podcast as special crash guests, and it is not going to be good for us.
Speaking of guests, I don't have my co-host here with me today, Milo Cash Evans. He's coming.
Why do you guys keep insisting on giving this dog my last name? His last name, he just Milo Cash. There's
Milo Cash Evans. Milo Cash Evans.
Oh, you guys are just
yeah, my little guy. He's not here right now.
Came to our house and they didn't know, like everybody who lived here, they would swear we had a baby in the house the way your mom talks to this dog.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right, what's next?
Reconciliation at CIF state championship game.
I was like, you better not butcher the word reconciliation.
Nah.
I'm just saying. You're like a graduating senior. You can't listen to the word reconciliation like mystical. Yeah. That's still funny.
You know what?
I'm just
all
saying.
right.
Then we got
top 3 Auntie's questions.
You better be ready, bro. I guarantee you she's got a question in there. I guarantee you, if not all 3, she's got a question in there that's gonna make you be like, it's gonna make your face hot. You'll be like, oh, I don't know how to answer this because I guarantee you better be ready. Let me tell you something. If you can answer your auntie's questions like really good and really fast, you'll be able to answer any reporter in the country's question. I guarantee you will. You might as well practice with her sometime. Just call her up and be like, Auntie, shoot 3 questions at me. If you can handle her questions, there's no reporter in the country for the rest of your life. Because she's going to ask questions. People be like, dang, I do not want to answer that. Or I don't know how to answer that without.
There might be a question I might have to be like,
say that again.
So there might have to be a question where I'm like, I'll plead the
fifth. Well, believe you're going to get one of them. You're going to believe me. Believe me. I ain't even got to doubt it. You're going to get one of them.
Wait. I'm already knowing.
And then, top 3 sister questions. She's going to be asking me her top 3 questions, but I know her. So I'm ready. Let's get ready to rumble. I'm just saying I'm ready. I don't know what she's going to ask, but I'm going to be ready. Yep. I'm just saying. What's next?
JV player shout-outs.
3-1. Do you know I am the most upset 3-1 coach probably in the country?
Why?
Because we came within a half yard of being 4-0. That's all I can think about.
That's true.
We can win the rest of the games. We will be 9-1, and I will, at the end of being 9-1, sitting up saying we would have been 10-0. We missed being 10-0 by half a yard. I'll still be happy, but I'll be mad.
Yeah.
Because, we have the chance to be perfect.
They fought, yep.
And we're not playing with our starters. I'm just saying. Our JV program is like a junior college program. You got to play everybody. You got to play more people than probably you would play, but you got to play as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And, JV player shout-outs. We'll get there. And then what do we got?
Peach State Gridiron Classic.
Oh, yeah, that's lighting it up. Starting to see a lot more of the people who have been selected. Looking forward to the draft in November. Matter of fact, next week's guest. Isn't next week's guest Coach Whitehead?
Yep.
Oh, yeah. He is the head coach of Team Dream. That's who I'll be coaching against. We're going to be drafting against each other. He'll be our special guest next week. That's going to be pretty dope. He's a great coach. And then finally,
Universal shout outs.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Don't forget to follow on Instagram. Follow Seth at Seth Quinn Evans and follow Bitter Cup Media. That's what's up. That's what I'm liking. That's what I'm liking. So, man, tell me where you guys are now 3-1. Where's your head at? What's going on?
1-3.
1-3. Oh no, JV's 3-1. I'm sorry, I was thinking about us. Sorry.
Yep.
3-1.
You know, it's okay.
3.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
You know, after the game was over, I asked Coach Martin to step aside real quick so I can talk to the team by myself. And even though I said I was really proud of them, I definitely said we shouldn't have taken that long to get here. You know, we had so many winnable games. Our first 3 games, they were all winnable. I was like, we shouldn't have taken so long to get here. You know, even when we went against Balboa, it was a rough start. I mean, we scored first, but then I would say we let off the gas pedal a little bit, but then we picked it up in the third and fourth quarter, which we had to do it from the get. We had to do it from the very start, you know. But I mean, overall, I'm still proud of them. They fought to the end, most of them.
Did you say that while the head coach was talking and then you asked the head coach to step aside so you could address the team?
Yep.
And he stepped aside and allowed you to address the team?
Senior leadership.
Oh, what was your thoughts about that? What made you think that you could ask such a thing?
I just felt like there's something that needed to be said from a athlete / teammate / brother standpoint. Because, you know, they hear stuff from the coaches all the time. But I feel like hearing it from a fellow companion hits differently than what it's just a coach.
I don't know if you want to use the word companion.
Yeah, that's true.
That's probably not a good word.
Yeah.
Companion is more like intimate relationship. No, I don't think you want to.
No. Teammate.
Teammate. There you go.
Teammate.
Yeah. That makes more sense. All right, let's do it. America. Bring it to the stage. I've known this young lady her entire life, but there was a huge chunk of it that I missed. And that's why we're having this broadcast today. I said, today is the perfect day to have this conversation. So I want you to lean into your listening device. Lean into whatever you're watching. Yeah. You are going to gain, I'm going to say it ahead of time, a bunch of valuable encouragement. And I don't even know what's all going to be said. I don't even know what's all going to be done. I'm not a prophet nor the son of a prophet. But I know what has happened to me personally. I know what's going on in me personally. And somehow today in this broadcast of season 3, episode 7, I am hoping that we are able to communicate to the world how significant a football game, how significant a football game can be as it relates to reconciliation with the family. And so, without further delay, we bring to the stage for the first time CHANDRA GIBSON. What's going on?
Hi. Hi, man. Hi, brother.
So those of you who are listening to America, this is my only sibling.
Correct.
For my entire life, I've never said, oh, this is my brother. Talking to somebody else like I got a brother. Or this is my sister, my place. I have never talked like that. I have one sibling. CHANDRA Jacquinette
Hey.
Gibson.
Ooh. Ooh.
I've always loved it. You don't tell people your middle name.
No.
Well, I guarantee you nobody will be able to spell it.
Right.
Nobody.
Your mom.
Spell it. Deja Martine chimes in.
Hi, Daisy.
There we go. Hi, Auntie. That's what's up.
I ain't got a high
That's
brother.
my baby.
Oh, look at you acting
Co-host
all
away from
jealous.
me. Took my co-host away from me.
Oh my
You right here.
This boy is having
Milo.
withdrawals. So let's get the most controversial piece out the way. Listen, America. I love my sister, but every year of our conscious life, we are the same age.
Oh yeah. I'm so proud of you.
For 2 weeks. And for those 2 weeks, she drives me crazy.
Twin.
Talk about it.
Have you been?
Talk about it.
Oh yes. So Dion and I are twins for 2 weeks, and he hates it, and I love it. So finally this year for my birthday, I was like, okay, admit it right now. Who's your twin? And it took him a minute, but he just melted at the restaurant in San Francisco. So now he is going to, from now on, acknowledge that we are twins for 2 weeks, starting July 13th to August 4th.
Oh my God. And I can't, I lose all rank and file for those 2 weeks. All rank and file.
Nothing else matters for those 2 weeks.
No.
To her, nothing matters.
Not to you.
Nothing.
There's no, he's the oldest. There's none of that.
None of that.
Nobody's hearing any. She's not hearing. I think she lives the whole year.
Yeah.
There are 52 weeks in a year.
Mhm.
50 weeks, all she does is wait for them last 2.
Yes.
Tell us what's going on in your world, Chandra.
So, you know,
By the way, it feels very weird because I never call you Chandra.
I
always
know it feels weird hearing it. Like, what?
I never call you Chandra. Even when I'm texting, I say, hey, sister. Hi, sister.
Know.
I never, so even me hearing myself say Chandra, it's like, huh? It's
I
like,
know.
huh? I feel like it's inappropriate.
It is, sister. Brother.
What's going on in your world?
Oh, so you know, life is really great right now. I have 2 wonderful children who are somewhere listening to this podcast. I told them not to come in here and mess up my juju. And a wonderful husband, and of course our mother. I know she's somewhere smiling, crying, and listening. But this I was invited by my chocolate brownie man, by Seth, to ask me to come on the podcast. And I mean, without even him getting it all the way out, I was like, oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And then when he told me what the show would be about, I was like, oh my God, absolutely. Because we are here because of football. Definitely. So I'm excited to jump into why we're here. And, you know, talk about it. And heck, if one person is listening, and they can dare to not be as stubborn as we were for so many years, then, you know, we gain, you know, because I'm excited. I'm excited about this podcast. I'm excited about what the subject is going to be about. And life is just lighter because I got my 2 guys right there here with me. So it's exciting.
You couldn't have told me this time last year that I would even be feeling the way I feel. It's like I can't really describe.
I know
the way I feel today.
Yeah.
Last year, these type of feelings did not even exist.
Mm.
Now, before we get further into the broadcast, because I know what the people want to know, how did you come up and why do you call Seth Chocolate Brownie Man?
Oh, sure. Well, let's start off with why I call Seth my chocolate brownie man. And yes, only I can say it. No one else can say this. Ever since he was a baby boy, he's so chocolatey, and he remained chocolatey forever. Like he's just chocolatey and so doggone cute and handsome. And so I just was like, it just came natural. I was like, oh my God, he's my chocolate brownie man. I can just eat him. So ever since he was a little boy, I've been calling him that. And even when I was, outside of his life, I still called him that. Deja, I always was like, how's my chocolate brownie man doing? And so that's how Seth got the name Chocolate Brownie Man, but only I can call him that, which is why the My is there. We may need a copyright as Seth, but only I could call him.
Absolutely.
That. Definitely only.
When I first brought that up, I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
I got DMs, calls, people talking to me in face to face. They're like, "Hey, what's up, Chocolate Brownie Man?" I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "Hey, you can't call me that."
Right.
Only my auntie come out me. It
right.
don't sound right with anybody else. It don't.
Yeah, good.
Can't say that.
Let them know.
Very apropos. I love it. I don't call him that. I say your auntie's calling you Chocolate Brownie Man.
Mm-hmm. It's so cute because he is so cute. Oh, look at the face. No, you're my chocolate brownie man. Knock it off.
All right, let's change subjects. We're going to come back. Preparing for Balboa High School and getting the win. Seth, you guys came into the game 0-3. They came into the game, what, 2-1?
2-1.
You guys are defending state champions. They are defending state champions. You came out with the dub. How did the team, yourself, prepare for Balboa this week?
We refused to go 0-4. Simple as that. We refused to go 0-4. Now, we had definitely had some immature moments during this past week's practices. But ultimately, we refused to go 0-4. And I was not going to go 0-4. I guarantee you that right now. So 3 touchdowns, that was pure anger. I refuse.
It's funny that you said you refused to go 0-4 because you had a teammate at, I believe it was Donnie. Who at team dinner said, I've never gone 0-4 in any sport in my life, and I'm not going 0-4 Friday.
That's real.
Nice. Yet you guys were going up against a running back that is already being talked about as NFL material.
Wow.
Yeah, oh
what was his name? Mekhi Smith? Was that his name?
Something like that.
I think it's Mekhi Smith. Tell us a little bit about him.
I'm gonna be honest. He's the first running back in my entire football career where I have got both legs and he still maybe dragged me a yard or two. I've never had that before. Because especially when I tackle, forearm tackle or a big or atomic shoulder, they usually go down. He's one of the only running backs who has not gone down. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, I noticed that.
He was something else.
He doesn't look fast to me.
No.
But he runs away from people.
Yeah. His stride. He had a pretty good stride.
He had to have close to 400 all-purpose yards.
Oh, yeah.
He had to have that. But your touchdowns neutralized his impact on the game. And you guys were down 18-7.
18-7.5
at half. And then you came back and scored 2 more touchdowns to give yourself 3 touchdowns. You scored the go-ahead touchdown, and then you scored a late, let's go even further touchdown, and you kind of put the game away. How did it feel scoring 3 touchdowns? And at what point in the game did it matter to you that it was possible you could score 3 touchdowns? Did it even hit you? Did it matter?
Really, no. But I definitely did know that I wanted to make a bigger impact on the game. So the first touchdown we had, 11-yard touchdown, ran right to the left. Stiff thumbed the dude, just threw my body in the end zone, got a touchdown. Now our boy Mateo, our new kicker, he broke the curse. He went, I believe, 5 for 5?
Mateo Salis went 5 for 5 in PATs.
Yep. And it was crazy because
shout out to Coach Gerald Morrison.
Yeah.
Because Coach Gerald Morrison has been working with Mateo since this year on JV in the summer. We've been working on his confidence, and he couldn't get his confidence right and all this kind of stuff. And Coach Gerald, I remember kicking Mateo off the field in practice. I'm like, look, man, we're not wasting any more time with you in these kicks. I'd rather go for 2 every play than waste any more time on these 2. But right before the game, I walked up to him. I said, hey, Mateo. I said, you believe in God, right? Mateo said, yes. I said, you do know that God is omnipotent. Means he has all power. He said, yes. I said, you do know that God is omniscient. It means he knows everything. Mateo said, yes, coach. I said, Mateo, you do know that God is omnipresent. He's everywhere at the same time. And Mateo said, yes. I said to Mateo, God is a fan of football, and he knows that you are playing varsity for the first time tonight. Now, if you can believe in God the way you just believe those 3 things that you say you believe about God, if you can believe God knows you're here and that God is willing to bless you if you use the right technique, you will be successful. You belong here. He said, okay, coach. And he went out there and went 5. He hasn't gone 5 for 5 in practice at JV.
Yeah, let alone
And he went 5. And let me tell you, the kicks were so good that we knew they were good. We knew that the PAT was good when his foot struck the ball. 5 for 5.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You know, it's crazy. I saw he put up his own like little 4 clips on Twitter. Same form, same exact speed. It looks like this. It looks like it's the same video every single time for 4 plays, but it's not. He just kept the same technique, and I was like, "Hey, when you go 5 for 5, man, you're doing something right.
Doing something right."
I was proud of him. Let's
get back to our special guest, Chandra. See how weird that was? It's like very weird to do. You know what's funny? You know what's funny? In our lifetime, I have met a lot of Chandras. Chandras. Women spell the same name, spell the same way, but pronounce Chandra or Chandra.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, no, it's Chandra.
Yeah.
That's what it's Chandra. And everybody else is pronouncing it wrong. I'm gonna get some flack because our booster board president, same spelling, Chandra. No, it's Chandra. I'm just saying. I'm a little biased. So our special guest, Chandra Gibson. This is Seth's auntie. This is my blood sister, my only sibling. How do you get updates? How do you get to watch the games?
So the games now. So we have a family chat called The Gang Is All Here. Prior to that, when we'll get into that later, Deja, my niece, my one and only niece, she always kept us updated with Seth. And then, of course, we have social media. So I was able to follow Seth and his career. I would dig all into his comments and I would side Deja on the side and text her and be like, what is this? Why didn't he like what I said? And Deja's like a little therapist, like, Auntie, he's just busy. It's okay. He will. Next thing I know, Seth is hearting my stuff. So I'm all proud. But we have our family chat. So Dion does a really good job with keeping us all a breath of what is going on, even with his team, with the JV team. Earlier this year, we got to watch the team turn into, this year playing football and practicing. So we got to meet some of the parents for the JV. Then we saw the parents for varsity. That was cool because that to me was just a community. Like, wow, these parents really come out. Like football's really a thing. I have girls. So I'm like, this is a community. So our updates mostly definitely are through our family chat. And it's special because we're just like, good job to both of them. You know what I mean? And then you have this podcast that we get to listen to and be a part of and get to know, like, wait, what did he do? How many? Wait, hold on. I'm gonna respond in a minute. Wait a minute, So I love that. I love that if we do miss something, we're able to get updates almost in real time, for sure.
We got to talk a little bit earlier about, you have a husband and you have 2 kids, your daughters, who are just amazingly talented. Can we, before we get into Seth's game film highlights, week 4 versus Balboa High School, can you tell us a little bit about your daughters? You have one in high school, one in middle school.
Yes.
Yes. They have certain things they do that are in common, and then they do a lot of things that are separated, but all great. Can you talk a little bit about them?
Yes. So my oldest, Carrington, she's a junior in high school, and she is in orchestra. She plays the violin. She's been playing since the 5th grade, and she's really good at it. So she's in advanced orchestra, and she loves it so much. She's our artist. She's just very artsy. She will probably go to a performing arts college. She's just that kid. And then she's also, she's like, no to sports. Nope. But she is in Taekwondo and does very well there. She has advanced so much in this sport. And it teaches a lot of discipline, and she's got it for sure. We have our youngest, Camille, who is in the 8th grade middle school. She is our track star baby. This girl can run. I look forward to being that mom, and I have been that mom out there. She's running and I'm screaming, running like I'm on the doggone track field with her.
Wait a minute.
Yes, I am.
Please
I'm
tell
that
me
mom.
you're not that mom who at the starting line is running along in the bleachers, trying to avoid people sitting because you try to
move
her.
Yeah. Wow. Yes, I'm that mom because I'm screaming, run, baby. And I'm getting so emotional because she's about to snatch and be first place. So I'm just like, yes, I'm that mom. Yeah.
Are you able to videotape her?
Videotape Camille?
Yeah, when she's running? Or because
yes.
Patricia is banned from any video of Seth. She can't do it.
I know. Well, listen, don't talk about my sister because I can't either. But so I'll get mad at Cameron, my husband. I'm like, you need a video. I need to get down here and run. And then he gets so excited. Now we're videoing the sky, someone's shoe. And then I'm looking at him at the end like, we didn't get the coverage. We'll have another parent that's like, girl, we got it for you here because y'all both, so it's a thing. You just get excited. And so Camille is our little track star. She's also in Taekwondo, and Camille really wants her Uncle Dion to move out here so he can coach her because she sees exactly what her big cousin Seth can do. And she's just like, just if he can coach us. So, and I'm not going to lie. I'm like, wouldn't that be great? So she's our sports girl. Definitely Carrington is our little artiste child. We love them both dearly with their little selves.
now growing up, our hometown, we like, for those of you who don't know, we grew up like 5 minutes away from Disneyland. Disneyland was like our backyard. Not too far from Disneyland, about 3 minutes from Disneyland, is Anaheim Stadium, where the California Angels play, who are now called the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, something like that. They're the Anaheim Angels. Anaheim Angels or the California Angels. Any other Angels, I'm not, whatever. But a couple of months ago, your oldest daughter, she got the opportunity to perform on the field. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, that was special. So her high school, they were invited to do the opening of the national anthem, and her orchestra team were able to come on the field and play. And that, I've been to so many of her concerts, but in that moment, her dad and I, we were just looking at each other like, wow, like I've never been on the field for but that was special. That was special to just, and we could like literally see her from where we were sitting. That was special that she and her entire I shouldn't say band. She checks me. She's like, it's called orchestra. The band goes on the field and plays for football and blah, blah, blah. So the orchestra team, I guess, that was special. That was definitely a moment that we cherish for sure.
That's dope.
Yeah, for sure.
It was. Yes, is Chandra Gibson. She is my one and only biological sister, and she's the one who coined the name Chocolate Brownie Man for Seth QUYN Evans. All right, Seth, let's transition real quick to varsity game film highlights week 4. You ready for that? All right, I think I got your huddle queued up, so I'm going to share screen here.
I think I average about 10 clips a game so far.
Yeah. There's you guys see that? That's your huddle profile. And then here is the clips. I want to large screen that. There we go. And let's go back here. And so you should be able to see the video now. There we go. All right. Here's your first touchdown. Ooh, stiff arm. Stiff arm. He tried to grab your arm. You notice that other dude didn't want no smoke? He's supposed to, his coach is going to get on his head. He's supposed to come out of the end zone and stop you. He's not supposed to try to hit you in the end zone. That's a touchdown. He did not want no smoke.
Through my body.
Out there.
Who?
Who's blocking out there? Who's that?
That's AJ.
That's Elijah. That's number 15.
Elijah? Oh, yeah, that's Eli. Oh, yeah.
That's Elijah. Elijah Dyke. That's a nice block right there. You owe him a sandwich or something, because he blocked that dude from the numbers. He blocked him into the hash.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah, that opened that up. Yeah, you owe him lunch. Yeah, you owe him something.
I'll see what we can do.
Here's a 35-yard run by you.
He's still
nice
blocking
cut through there.
He's blocking on this one.
Nice. Who's blocking? Is that Elijah again?
Yep.
Elijah Dysart. I love it when a wide receiver blocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Nice. You owe him. You owe him times. You owe him 2 times. All right, here's another your second touchdown. 1 yard. Let's go back. That's the 35-yard run. Let's finish that one.
Yeah.
Here we go. Nice. Just pick the hole. Nice way to pick the hole.
Just jump
right through there. Chris Wilson is in there blocking for you. He kind of seals the edge on the inside, which allows you just kind of walk right into the end zone. Good stuff there. Here's a 19-yard run by you. Again, this is against the state champion Balboa Buccaneers of San Francisco. Nice. Let's go back and see that again. They're coming. Here you cut through. I'm sure these DBs, they've seen so much film on you. This dude is lucky he didn't get his neck broke. He's lucky. This DB, this free safety who's going to come up at the right here. He's lucky he didn't get his neck broke. You cannot, young men, you cannot lower your head like this. Wow. Nice run. Here's a 10-yard run. In my opinion, should have been called a touchdown. Seth, tell me, how are you able to elude some of these tacklers in such close, like you can't teach that. How are you able to do that?
Past experiences. Really, when in the past, people I've used have been trying to chop my leg. So if I see somebody that's obviously coming to my right side, I'll try to evade, but still run. So I'll do like a one leg hobble to get one side of my body off the ground so they can't hit that side. Yeah. And then once I know they're off course, I can just put my body right back down and keep running.
Nice. That's a touchdown. I don't know what he was thinking. But what was good is that your coach knew it was a touchdown. He comes back to you the very next play, and this is your third touchdown of the game right here?
Yep.
Yeah, nice. Nice.
What makes you run down the middle with all that? I would go to the side, but you got the touchdown. I always go, why do they run down the middle with everyone that can potentially tackle you? Why do y'all do that?
Well, there's two parts of that. One, the coaches want me to press the hole because that's where I have my help as well. You know, I have my lineman. Our lineman, our weight average is 277, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, they slipped up a couple times, but I still love them guys. As long as they block, I'm good.
Here's a block PAT. You become known for doing this.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, I mean, this was an easy one. This is one of the easiest PATs I've ever seen you block.
Yeah,
nice.
I was like,
Once you blocked it, I see the victory jog. Explain the
victory jog.
You blocked it. Now you could stop, but now you just go still just run a little bit. I think later on you was wagging your finger.
Yep, I'm doing that. Not on me. It's not working.
This is a hawk down tackle right here. Notice, ladies and gentlemen, Seth is right here. He is about 3 yards from the top of the numbers. He's going to make the tackle way over here. Going to cross the field. This is called a hawk down.
Track and field.
This is against a guy going to the NFL. That people are already declaring he's going to NFL. He's got the size, the speed, and bop, get up out of here. Get up out of here. And then you just get up and go on back to the huddle. Now I saw this in real time. I was like, oop. If you could have just got through that one more guy, this highlight would have been the number one highlight on your reel. Because he had you dead to right, thought he was going to bully you. He didn't know that you can clean 275 pounds. Last checked. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You just shook him. And then got another. He had you at a loss for 4 yards. You gained 3 yards out of it. That's a 7-yard swing. Dope. This is just not right. This is just flat out. You take block. How you do that, young man, like that? Do it again.
All right, so I actually kind of planned this in a way. So we get some backstory, some backdrop. Literally a couple plays earlier, my cousin Chris Wilson, he gets a crazy block, depletes the dude. Like I'm talking about, he's levitating in the air while Chris, he's in the air. So I'm like, okay. I'm hearing the reaction. I'm like, I need to give me one of those. Hey, I take my chance. The dude escapes from my right tackle. I just come up, protect my QB, Kamani Brown. Bop. He just falls down. I'm like, hey, I got power just because I'm so-called small and skinny.
You're not really small and skinny.
Mm-mm.
Well, that's what other people say. When they say that, I'll show them that clip right there. I did that in the state game too. I laid out a 310-pound lineman. So
dope. Go to our special guest, Chandra GIBSON. You watch the highlights. You watch his highlights every week. This is week 4. What are your thoughts on those highlights you just saw?
Oh, amazing. And Seth and I talked from them losses. It's about damn time, because I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Fire the coach. I'm kidding. But I was just like, we cannot be losing out here in these streets. No, we got places to go. So I was happy to know that they finally got a win. And of course, Seth and his 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's super tight, but I expect that. So yeah, I'm proud. Definitely.
Rocco Bands chimes in. He says, you owe me lunch, Seth. Keep the promise. What's the promise?
You're right. That is right.
Hey, Rocco Bands is Samani.
There, Rocco.
And Samani had a breakout performance at the JV game. Breakout. He had 4 touchdowns. And probably the most impressive touchdown he had was his second touchdown, which was an
interception, pick 6
of the arms, pick 6 for 61 yards, I believe it was.
Wow,
it's crazy.
But yeah, that was.
Dude, why do you owe him lunch?
I told him, Thursday? Because I know you guys had a pretty good game plan. I said, hey, if you get a pick 6, you get lunch. You got a pick 6. You scored 3 other touchdowns on top of that. I also bet with Amari Holbrooks, if he got an interception or he got a fumble recovery and took it to the house, which he did, but it got called back. So I don't know if that really counts. I would technically owe him a lemonade, but I think he'll deserve it. I think he'll deserve it.
Hey, he did that 3 times. Amari Holbrooks had 3 fumble recoveries. He probably got 100 yards in fumble recovery, at least 80. But he can never, ever tell me he's fast. I'm not hearing it. Every week, Amari Holbrook says, Coach, put me in that fullback. Coach, put me in that quarterback. Coach, put me in that receiver. Coach, put me in returner. I'm fast, Coach. Amari. No, you got hawked down. You got hawked down. But that I felt bad for him because it was his 3rd fumble recovery that he went for a touchdown, and somehow it got called back. And I think it was a kind of a nitpicky callback because we were now about to blow the team out and they were trying to keep the game close.
Yeah.
I hate
in that clip, if you have it, you'll definitely see all varsities right there. We see him pick that ball up. He run with his whole life. Like he's like, I can't get caught. I can't. We're all at the his brother's there with me. The whole team's right there. He scores, throws that ball down. We all get hyped. We're like, oh yeah. It was good.
It was a dope moment. It was a dope moment. I really am proud of that young man and watching his maturity in the football game. He is going to be a guy forever at Monroe Catholic. All right, weekly piano jingle challenge. So we've been kind of like off with this. So now you got to give. So here are the songs I've been working on. So I got to tell you this. So they had the piano at the game on Friday night, the band.
Mm-hmm.
And, I should have been a band director. Because like our band is playing like Motown stuff. And I'm like, nobody wants to hear, oh, baby, give me one more. I mean, that's when Michael Jackson was a little boy and he was black.
I can't.
You gotta give me some Prince or something. Mix it up. We're playing these kids that are playing the Temptations and the Four Tops. Their parents weren't even alive when these songs were hits. So I kind of need us to kind of, I don't understand how a private Catholic school is playing Motown music. I have an appreciation for Motown music, but hell, black bands don't even play Motown music. I mean, I need us to kind of upgrade a little bit.
You know what? Do you know what band we need?
I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to respect the band we have. I believe they can play more modern music. They just got to decide to. But they had the piano out there Friday. And when I came back during halftime, I saw the piano. And it took everything for me to just keep on walking. Because I started to walk up to the piano and play live in the stadium the Thizzle dance. Bum, 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 bum. I started to do it.
You should have.
I should have. But I cowered at the last second. I said, nah, I don't think this school is ready. They was just playing Ain't Too Proud to Beg or something. ABC is 1, 2, 3. If I go in there and play the Thizzle dance, I might be biting off more than I can chew because I know the crowd on both sides is gonna go nuts. So
that's that Bay Area.
If I was to play Mystical, what did you have me play? What, here I go.
Yep.
Learn that. Then I learned Kendrick Lamar, Be Humble. But you wait a minute. My sister, Chandra, our special guest, you clowned me on the YouTube channel.
I did?
Yeah, you said something to the effect of when I said I was playing Kendrick Lamar, Be Humble, you was like, Kendrick Lamar's what? You was clowning it like that don't sound like nothing.
Oh, yeah. It didn't. Love you, but it did not. I was like, what is he playing? Yeah, no. And don't do it again.
So I said, all right, I gotta sharpen my tools a little bit.
Yeah, if you're gonna go Kendrick Lamar,
recognize it. In my ear, it sounded like don. But in your ear, you was like, what in the hell is
what are we doing?
Yeah, it took a little, it was a slow start. It was a slow start. It was a slow start. It was yeah. You know, I'm gonna just leave it there. It was a slow start.
It's okay. It was bad, brother.
All right. So we're gonna leave that alone. So what's next week's challenge? Let me write it down. What's next week's challenge?
Huh. That is a great question. You know what? I'm gonna have you do Nevada.
Huh?
NBA YoungBoy. Nevada.
NBA. I never even heard of this person.
You probably know the
NBA YoungBoy. What is the name of the song?
Nevada.
Spell it.
Nevada.
Nevada?
Yeah, did I not say that?
You said Nevada. Like you white. Nevada.
He's Nevada.
Nevada.
Not white, but like you're sophisticated. Nevada. Let's go to Nevada.
Nevada.
Yeah.
You mean Nevada?
Nevada.
You don't want to put him in the Catholic school, so don't be mad at his properness. Don't be mad at his properness now.
Yeah, we don't want to say
yeah.
They're on that. It's Nevada. It's not Nevada. It's Nevada.
Yeah,
Nevada. It's Nevada.
All right, let's get into
proper.
This is the more meat and potatoes of the broadcast. This is the reason why we brought you here. So for those of you who are just tuning in, this is my sister, my biological sibling, my only sibling. Though what you guys have experienced for the first 50 minutes of this broadcast has been a lot of jovial, fun moments for us. But a year ago, we were completely disconnected. We're not going to get into why we were disconnected, but we will talk about how long we were disconnected. If Seth is now 17, we were disconnected 10 years. Because we were back connected before he turned 17, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So that means for 10 years, we were disconnected. And I know some of you may say, why would y'all be disconnected for 10 years? Be honest with you. You got to understand how old we were 10 years ago when we're developing our own families and, kids are babies and we're making decisions in adulthood. We've lived away from each other for even longer. I chalk it up to we were just different type of adults. And I can't tell you personally. I mean, I can kind of probably make something up. But when you've been disconnected from somebody for so long, you have to come to an agreement within yourself that a lot of the things you believe was stuff that you added to the story that weren't true. And the reason why you add stuff to the story is to justify decisions to stay apart and stay disengaged. And I say for 10 years, we didn't speak. Mm-hmm. For 10 years, we did not utter a single word to one another. We have not seen each other's face. I had forgot what her voice, I can't say I forgot what her voice sounded like, but now she's a grown woman with 2 kids. I didn't know what her voice even sounded like. I don't know what she really looks like as an adult woman anymore. All I know is we went through a rough patch and decisions were made based on words being shared And we just decided. But what's incredible to me is this. Even in the midst of, I'm talking about solitary confinement from one another, self-imposed, neither one of us chose to pass that to our kids. Now I'll start with Chandra.
So to piggyback on that, we didn't talk for too long, very long time. It was this whole how football and my nephew brought our family back together is super powerful in itself. It was so unexpected. I've always been in Deja's life, even if we would sneak. That was my girl. Deja is the reason why I find that I'm a good mother, because I was in her life. She was the first baby that I was able to, be a part of, and so whatever I needed to do, I was going to sneak with her, even if Dion and I and my sister-in-law, we weren't talking. And I always had been really close to my sister-in-law. So I did miss that. But my nephew, Deja kept us so connected, like as far as what was going on with him with football. And Seth was doing really, really well. His team, they were like, as you call it, on the map, and then they were going to play the CIF game. And of course, that's here in Orange County, where, I live not too far from there and I grew up there. And so I was like, oh, we're going to the game. We're going to the game. So just let me know. We're going to go to the game. And I remember Deja had texted and she was like, oh, we're headed there now. We're driving out. Seth is on the bus. And I was like, okay. And I'm thinking the game is going to be on a Saturday night. And she's texting me on a Friday. So I'm working from home. My husband's working from home and the kids are at school. And then I end up texting Deja going, hey, check with your dad and your mom, but I want to come and get Seth too, so we can all go to dinner with you and Seth tonight, which would be a Friday night. And then we'll come back and go to the game on Saturday. And so Deja texts me back and she's like, Auntie, we're leaving tonight. And I was so confused. Like, what do you mean you're leaving tonight? His game is tomorrow, meaning Saturday. And she's like, Auntie, his game is tonight. It's in 30 minutes. I panicked. I was like, what do you mean? Of course. And so I'm jumping up. My husband's like, get dressed. Literally, I jumped up, took the quickest shower ever, and then we're driving so fast down the freeway to get to Fullerton from Corona. We're buying tickets online. And then I was like, I'm coming to the game no matter what. So Deja was keeping me abreast of what the score was. We get there at the tip of third quarter. So we get there, Deja tells us where we're sitting. We go and sit with the family. I instantly, saw my sister and I hugged her. I was just so happy to be there for my nephew, to see my niece, and I wasn't going to let anything stop that. And so then after they won, I got to really watch Seth play. I was so proud. And in that moment, time was just lost because I'm looking at my grown nephew. I lost time, time, just being stubborn. I lost time. And so fast forward, they win the game. And we all run down to the fence.
Hold on real quick. I got to interject. So she's fast forward to the end of the game. Let me back up to the halftime. She told you guys that she's corresponding with my daughter, her niece, to whom, oh, by the way, I know some of you guys know that because I talked about this on the broadcast. During my birthday, I went on a shopping spree. My sister brought me down to Southern California. I've never done that before in my life. That was matter of fact. Here's a game shoe. Here are my game day shoes.
Yes.
Game day. Only wear these on game day. Sit up here on a stack of books that I've read.
I'm gonna take those.
I get a call. I get a text message from my daughter. So I'm a part of my coaching, part of varsity, is to make sure that we capture all the film so we can break it down and know how to, get better. And I get this text message on halftime, Daddy, just so you know, Auntie's here. What auntie are we talking about? I know it. I'm not thinking about my sister because surely she ain't come knowing I'm gonna be here. She ain't no way she just popped up. Auntie Chandra is here and Uncle Cameron. I just want you to know ahead of time so you can prepare yourself. And I'm thinking, prepare myself for what? What? I mean, I ain't seen nor heard from them. And I'm like, whatever we do, Deion Evans is going to take the high road. This is a state championship game. There cannot be no verbal altercation. There cannot be no physical confrontation. There can be none of that because all of that will travel back to the Bay. Not having it. So the game is over, and all I'm thinking about, get my equipment back to the bus and avoid any conflict.
Let me tell that story. Wait.
Go ahead. And pass it on to you, my special guest.
Yeah, we're going to be inserting. So, yeah, let's fast forward to the locker room. So we're all standing outside. We're waiting for Seth and his team, but they're taking 10 pictures. And so then we're getting ready to go to their bus and kind of like wait like groupies. And so Seth is getting ready to run to the locker room. He sees me. He runs all over to the fence. I'm so proud because I'm like, my nephew just won. And he ran over here and he's staring at me and I'm staring at him. And I'm like, go take your shower. I'm going to be here. He goes, you're going to be here when I come out. I will be right here when you come out. So he goes, fast forward. My husband's in the car, Deja and my sister, they pull up behind us, and Cameron and Deja, this uncle and auntie thing, they're funny. They were like, they gonna see each other. And my sister-in-law, she's so classy. She's just sitting there like this, standing there smiling. And I know that she just is in prayer. I know it, and no one knows what's gonna happen. But I knew, like, I see Dion. But I see Seth first. So Seth comes out with his team. We're hugging. We're congratulating the whole team. And Dion comes walking with all his media equipment in his wagon. And he gets like 3 more steps to me, but he doesn't take those 3 steps yet. He stops. I'm standing there. Suddenly my husband backs away and leaves me standing on the sidewalk. And Dion's on the sidewalk, but he's like 3 steps away before getting to me. So I'm saying, okay, I'm going to speak. And rather he speaks or not, I'm going to speak. And so Dion stops and he looks at Deja. She's not far, but she's at the car. And he goes, Deja, have you seen my camera? And I'm going, boy, you know good and well you ain't worried about no camera. It's because I'm to his right and he has to bypass me to get to that bus, And so it gets awkward and weird. And then all of a sudden Seth walks off and Dion and I are left at the sidewalk. But I had already knew without telling anyone that I'm going to speak. And so he turns and he looks at me, he makes eye contact, my brother, and I look at him and I say, hi, Dion. And he's like, hi, how are you? And I said, I'm good. And then I went in and I hugged him. And in that moment I said, and then Cameron, my husband, hugged him. And I said, you have done such a great job with Seth. He's such an athlete, and I congratulated Dion too, congratulations. So I had to say that part first, because he's talking about, I come walking down, after the game, and we laugh behind his back, but now I'm telling it, that he was like, Deja, you see my camera? And I was
trying to, I don't know. I was like, here was my mindset. I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm not going to be made no fool of in front of people who don't know my personal life. They don't know that I even have a sister. Most people at that time thought I was just an only child. They don't know nothing about my sister. They don't know nothing about my mom. They don't know nothing because I don't talk about it. So my attitude is, I didn't know what kind of car you drove. And my wife and my daughter came in a rental car. So I didn't know what kind of car they were driving. Had I have known that and I was able to look at that gate and see y'all cars parked there, I would have went another way. But I didn't know what kind of cars y'all had. So I go out the gate totally oblivious to what I'm walking through. And then boom. So now I'm like, okay. Let me just get to the bus. And so I'm getting ready to go. You speak, your husband speaks, we do the hug thing. I'm still kind of like, okay, what? Because nobody planned for this. Nobody told me. You know, I found out at halftime. I don't know what we're dealing with. So I'm just they're here for Seth, and I don't want to get in the way. They're here for Seth. I'm going to the bus because I did have a camera I couldn't locate. I didn't know where it was. It happened to be at the bottom of my cart. But then you requested to take a picture. And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, for what? What, we just gonna take pictures like we ain't seen each other or talked in 10 years? I just heard your voice for the first time. You got a little deeper, raspier voice than I have ever heard in my life. It's a nice voice, but I have never heard it. And I'm shocked. Your husband is hugging me. I don't know him really like that, but I know he's been respectful. I know he's been, a champion of the kids. And I could tell from even not talking to you, I could tell the way in which you both were raising your kids, that you guys was doing a dadgum good job. Even in the midst of no speaking, no communication, when I would see posts here and there because of Deja or because of Seth of your kids, I was like, you can't be that bad of individuals when you raising kids like this. These kids is phenomenal. That don't happen from bad parenting. I'm sorry. But we got our own, and it's going to be like that forever. So I think it was you who requested to take a picture.
Yes, I requested to take a picture.
You remember what you did when you requested?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So we all were I was like, here, let's take a picture. And Dion was getting ready to go to the bus to put his stuff away. He goes, oh, let me put my stuff away. And I was like, okay. But then for some reason we were getting ready to take a picture in that moment. And so Cameron was next to me and Dion wasn't next to me, but he was next to Cameron. So it was Dion on the outside, Cameron, me, Seth, Deja, and my sister-in-law, Letitia. And so then right before one of the football moms took the picture, I said, wait, give me a second. We need to break this up a little bit. So I told Cameron, you stand over there by Letitia. And then I was now standing right next to Dion. And so I'm hugging him and pulling him in. And in that moment, for me, and even I know for him, because we've talked about this, it was, I'm extending this olive branch and we have got to, I want to reconcile. And it was my silence way of saying it. And I'll let you take it from there, Dion, on your way back to.
So y'all want to take a picture. I'm thinking, okay, y'all want to take a picture, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and go over here. Y'all go and take the picture. Of course, you know in the world you're requesting me to be the picture. So I'm going to just go on. It's about Seth. Y'all going to take y'all pictures with Seth. And you were like, no, stay here. Let's get a whole group picture. So we're preparing to take this picture. And then you moved your husband and put your arm around him. And it was in that moment. I'm sorry. It was in that moment that I knew something was changing. It was in that moment, because you got to understand, not only had I not heard your voice, not only have I not seen your face, I have not had your touch. And here you are asking me to take a picture, and you want to be standing next to me in the photograph. I don't know where it's going. I don't know where it's going to go once it gets taken. But I said to myself, okay, something different. Something different is happening here. And emotionally, I am unprepared for it. I did not come to the CIF State Football Championship game to be vulnerable. I came to win a football game. And I had no idea that reconciliation was in the cards for the day. And I sense in my soul your desire to reconcile. That's why I called it an olive branch. So we take the picture, and then we all pretty much go our separate ways after that. And I'm saying to myself, okay, I don't really know what really all just took place, but something took place. And then I think we just all went our separate ways. And then I think it was 2 weeks later, we went right back to no communication, no talking, no. I didn't even have your phone number. And 2 weeks later, you sent me a text message. And I remember seeing the area code. I'm like, is this Chandra? And you was like, yeah, it's me. I said, okay, let me finish what I'm doing. I'll call you. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen in this conversation. I know what I thought. I don't know if the interpretation is the same, but all I do know is when I press send to make this phone call, I want to be by myself. So I got in my car. I'm just driving around and I call you and we're on the phone for the first time. And prior to that phone call, I had probably a list of 100 questions that I needed answers to as to why things were the way they were and what happened here and what did this happen there and how did you go about doing this. I had 100 questions. And when we got on that phone, it all went away. And I remember telling you at that time, if you don't mind, I'd rather not rehash whatever happened. Because by this time, whatever's in my head as to what happened can't be what happened. It's just the facts don't all line up. Lines up for me to continue being away, but it doesn't line. It had no power for reconciliation. All I cared at that moment was I was going from a family that I had no communication with to gaining a family that was more important to me than anything else in the world. My son is not going to know his auntie through social media. My daughter, she's locked in. I never stopped my daughter from visiting or anything like that. Although I was standing in the need of prayer every time she said she was going to Southern California. And every time she would go to Southern California and come back, she'd come back with a brand new suitcase full of clothes. I think the first 10 years of her life, I don't think I had to ever go to the store and buy her clothes because every time she would visit you, she would come back with so much clothes, never had to buy clothes for her like her first 10 years. Crazy. So I kind of felt strange when I came down for my birthday, and here I am coming home with a suitcase full of clothes. I said she did to me what she's been doing to Deja for 10 years. I remember that phone call, and we were talking about how we were going to move forward. And I just got to thinking, man, the power of a football game. Seth had for weeks, this is what you don't know. For weeks, Seth had been telling on the podcast, this is season 2. For weeks, if you look at those final 6 weeks, every podcast, Seth was saying, I am making it my personal mission to get the seniors on our team to the state championship. I want to go to state. And at the time, I'm like, that's real nice. That's real cool. That's a wonderful thought. But the chances of this school going to state are very slim. Now we're at state. Seth had been saying it this whole time. But what I didn't understand is his participation in state would cause you and your husband to come, and God would just orchestrate all that stuff to the point now where I can't live without you. Without your husband, I can't live. I don't want to spend another day without being in your girls' lives. I'm like, they got a dope uncle and they don't even know him.
They do now.
But they never heard my voice. They've never seen my face. At least Seth he's following you on social media. I mean, he's that kind of stuff. And you had Deja to talk to, but I had nothing. And I just remember the olive branch, and I was like, man, you can sit here and act like you should continue this, whatever reason both of y'all decided to like not be there, or you can say, hey, she put out an olive branch. You'd be a fool to continue this behavior. You don't have time to hash it all out. Ain't much. You can't hash it all out. What you can do is forgive. Both of y'all forgive and live this new life with each other the way God has intended it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's reconciliation, man. Now my whole life is upside down. And I don't mean to alarm anybody, but I don't know how much longer I have in the Bay. I know that's breaking news to a lot of people. I just don't know. I don't know how much longer I have in the Bay Area, because really all I want to do is be with my family. It's cool to be in the Bay because I'm so far away. I don't have to deal with the vulnerability. I ain't got to deal with no issues.
Mm-hmm.
But when God brings you back together the way he's brought us back together, my son is going to be, he's going to have a different address next year, no matter what. And, once he's gone, I don't, him and his sister going to have the same address somewhere. I don't know what happens, but
you'll be out here with me.
All I do know is my sister means everything to me. And God did it through a football game that my son could not have even remotely believed he orchestrated it, but God used him. And so, I love you, Chandra.
I love you too, Dion.
And we will never, ever separate again.
No, for sure. No, we're going to talk it out, and that's going to be that. But it's like so new, but in the same way, it's just like I have my brother, and I want you to know, like, I notice you're so light and cool, and you let me be me, and I appreciate that, and I let you be you. And it's just so good.
Oh, I think you are hilarious.
Yeah.
It's funny. You are probably the same way you were when we were kids.
Yeah.
And going through I just couldn't appreciate it.
Sure.
But
you gonna fall.
But now I adore it. Like, you are like hella funny.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes.
That's a lot.
That's me. No. I'm a good time.
But
sure.
Let me tell you, the time we spent I think the first time we got together was during the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. No,
yes.
Yeah. Seth's birthday. His birthday. Yeah.
And, man, we left Corona, and I was like, man, if this boy wasn't in school, I don't know if I'd go back. I don't know if I'm going. And it was at that time I'm thinking it, but I'm like, I don't, and then my wife brought it up. My wife is like, hey, I'm looking at jobs in Corona. I'm like, for what? I just think that, I'm thinking maybe we should, in a year when Seth is gone, maybe we should go to Corona. We should live near Corona. I'm like, girl, it's like Michael Jackson. You want to be starting something. I'm just, Seth, what do you know?
I'm just glad that we're here. I'm glad that we're here. I don't know how the interaction was going to be once we won state. Truth be told, I didn't even know that you guys were Auntie Chandra. I didn't even know you guys were there until I walked out the locker room and I heard you screaming across the gate. But definitely, like, I was definitely excited that we won state and that I kept my promise to the seniors. But it was definitely something a little more exciting, and I would definitely say that was you guys and all of us getting together. Yeah, and plus, I mean, especially after that whole picture interaction, I mean, my dad did this, so we had to turn up with the speaker and everything. We had to.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was like, he's gonna fall.
I ain't gonna fall. I can't believe you played that. I can't believe you played that.
Yeah, it was cute.
You saw to the day I die.
Yes.
Great.
All right, let's switch reels. Your auntie has 3 questions for you, Seth. Top 3.
Ooh,
Auntie
we still have that
questions.
segment. Oh, we still have that segment.
Are you ready for my?
I hope.
Look, so I'm gonna put on my glasses. So Seth, I wrote down 3 questions, right? And then while we were sitting here, I was like, you know what? Let's level this up a little bit. So you're gonna get actually 4 questions. One of them you could plead. You could just say no comment. But if you use it, you can't use it on the other questions.
All right.
Okay. All right. So first question. During your high school journey, who's the lucky one you're going to bring home when you finally settle down in high school? Spill it. Give me a name.
Oh, God.
Give me a name. Coming in hot.
Hey, I'm about to have to plead the 5th of the first question.
Oh, are you sure?
I'm sure. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if I plead the 5th on the first question because the next 3 could be woo.
You sure?
Okay, well, let me not say I plead the 5th. Let me not say that.
Okay.
I would say I'm not really focused on that right now. I'm focused on football. So in terms of girls and homecoming and prom and all that, I'm not really looking for all that right now. I got a job to finish first.
That's a safe answer.
Absolutely.
I'm not buying it though. Okay. The second question, if you could pick one thing to get better at overnight, what would it be? And no cheating. What would it be? If you could pick one thing to get better at overnight, what would it be?
My leadership skills.
Okay.
I would say my leadership skills. I would like to get better overnight. Now, I'm not saying like I have bad leadership skills or anything like that. I just feel like that could be another step forward to get into my end goal. Like I just building character, being a great leader, and learning how to keep your composure in tough times.
Okay. All right. And the next question. Whenever you don't score, are you blaming your coach or the quarterback?
Really neither. I mean, most of the time I would say I do a lot of self-reflecting. Rather it's pressing a hole or not following my lead blockers to the outside. I cut up or I want to get contact instead of just running to the outside where there's open grass. But I mean, there's so many possibilities. Sometimes I've got hit pretty bad because the teammate hasn't blocked, but I just go on to the next play. I don't really think about it like that. I just keep on going.
All right. And the final question. Is my chocolate brownie man still a virgin?
Yes. Yes.
Good answer.
Yes.
All right, you did good.
I knew she was gonna ask
that. He said no.
I knew she was gonna ask that question.
Uh-huh.
I knew it. I knew that question was coming. I'm already knowing.
Well, let me tell you.
I was gonna be like, who? Who is it? And how do you have the time?
Text me after. All right. Good job.
All right, now we got the top 3 sisters question. Now you got 3 questions for me.
You did good under pressure, Seth.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. My first question for Dion is you are so animated and you get so excited and I love it. But Why do you yell on the microphone? You start talking all low, and then you'll go, because, like, why do you do
Called spicing it up. I tell people, you know what I tell. So, at the beginning of every football game, the officials come over and they introduce themselves to the head coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they ask all this stuff about, are the players properly equipped? Are you have any trick plays? Is there anything about the other team we need to be aware of to make sure that the game is officiated properly? And then their last question is there anything else we need to know? Mm-hmm. And I say to them, I need to know how I can ask you a question without you getting offended, thinking that I'm trying to show you up in front of everybody. I said, because I tell them, I said, I do not have an inside voice. I only have an outside voice. I said, if I start using an inside voice, somebody is about to get in trouble. All I've ever had is an outside voice. But when I'm on radio, I just do it as I just use it as just a little flavor.
It's very entertaining. All right. So you do know that's not really my question. So you really do have 3 questions. Okay. So if I read your text out loud on the podcast, would it go viral or would it get canceled?
If my wife?
No, if I was on your podcast, I had your phone and I read something that you got on text, whether it's from Deja, Tisha, Seth, the coach, colleague, or whatever, would it go viral, the text that I would read, or would your podcast get canceled?
It would go viral.
It would go viral.
Yeah, it doesn't go viral.
There's no conversations that I have that would get me canceled.
Okay, cool.
Like I haven't talked recklessly behind the back like Charlie Kirk. I ain't said nothing crazy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
So if you read something
that was kind of crazy,
it would probably just go viral. Yeah. Okay. Now it might expose somebody else, but for me, it would just go viral.
All right. Okay. If you and I swap lives for 1 week, what do you think would be the hardest part for you, and what would you totally crush?
Okay. What I would totally crush is going to school every day and coaching Camille.
Yeah, you would.
Everything about Camille and sports, I would totally crush. What was the first one?
If we swap lives for 1 week, what would be the hardest part?
The hardest part, and she better not get mad at me for this. The hardest part is going to the school, picking up Camille, and she's holding the hands of some young Asian boy as she's walking to the car. Now that would be hard.
That would be both of them.
To let him just walk her to the car and she just and we drive off and I don't say nothing. Oh no, that would die. I don't know if I can.
Okay.
It's just I'm not saying that's her boyfriend, but I'm just saying to me, I would just be like, all right.
Okay, last question. If you could invent a holiday, what would it be called and how would we celebrate it?
If I could invent a holiday,
what would it be called and how would everyone celebrate it?
National Beards Day.
All right, if I create a holiday, August 5th.
The day after your birthday, really?
Yeah, my birthday. I would August 5th, and I would be how would we celebrate it? Everybody would buy a folding chair. It was August 5th. That's the day that Alabama boat ride turned bad, and they had that brawl at the steamboat. Remember those people attacked that black security officer, and the brother was swimming across, and all that fighting broke out? I'd make that a holiday.
August 5th, and we would have to buy a folding chair.
Like brawl day. That would just be the holiday. And everybody they wouldn't have to necessarily buy one every year, but everybody would have to have a folding chair, and everybody would have to take a picture in that folding chair and post it on social media. Brawl day.
Brawl day.
It'd be the first holiday in the month of August.
Love it.
Yeah.
Good job. You guys did good. I went light.
Wonderful.
That was light.
Well,
We got Chandra Gibson with us. She's our special guest. That is our blood sister. That is Seth's auntie. She is the creator of Chocolate Brownie Man. And we just had to have this conversation about reconciliation because, somebody's going to listen to this broadcast. And they're going to, we said it's father plus son plus football. And we talk about a lot of stuff. And this is a part of football that you don't get. I mean, a lot of people can talk about X's and O's, but football does more than just do X's and O's. It can bring whole families together. It can change lives. Mm-hmm. Has nothing to do with what happened on the field or the outcome. It's a powerful sport. And it's a sport that gave back. I've given a lot to football. Seth has given a lot to football. But I never thought that football would end a drought with my sister. And I'm glad that football has done that. The best sport has helped assist in the best decision of my adult life. And I'm very proud to be your brother. And all I've ever wanted to be was a good
big brother.
That's all I've ever wanted to be. So, all right, let's get into JV players shout out. Seth.
I mean, your whole JV team. I mean, I get it. I understand. I can't just shout out the whole team, but I mean, the whole JV team does a phenomenal job. And if I'm being honest, sometimes they set the tone for practice for us, for varsity. To be honest, how they act during the day, during the school day, how they act going to practice. I would say that's the first step of setting the tone.
It's interesting. Your mom had a conversation with me. Mm-hmm. And I'll share it on the podcast because I think other parents may have the same concern. If Letitia has a concern, I'm sure other parents have had the concern. I asked her, I said, well, what did you think about the JV game? Because she's so invested in the varsity game because of you. She just happens to be at my games because it's the setup to watching your game. And so I asked her, what do you think about the JV game? We're the ones 3-1. We're a half yard from being 4-0. Mm-hmm. And she says, you guys did really well. She says, I just got one question. And the way she says, I just got one question, lets me know that question is going to she thinks that question is going to offend me. Yeah. So I say, what's your question? Because now I'm really curious as to what she may ask that might tick me off. She says, you got to do so much yelling. I said, oh, yelling. I'm good at yelling. I could get a doctorate degree in yelling. I said, here's what happens. I said, this is what you guys don't know. On the sideline, sometimes a player on the field will make a decision that will cost us positive yardage or touchdown. I said, and then when I bring that kid off the field, I'm questioning that kid as to why that kid didn't do what I know that kid can do in practice all week. And sometimes the answer that I get is, Coach, I was scared. Scared of what? Or I'll hear, Coach, I took a play off because they know they can tell the truth. You took a play off in the red zone? In the red zone. You took a play off. All the coaching we've done all week, all that you understand about the philosophy of this football team, and you decided to take a play off in the red zone that cost us a touchdown. So why do I yell? I yell because I'd rather them be afraid of me than be afraid of their own fear. I'd rather them be afraid of me than be afraid of their opponent. And what I have discovered is when I'm yelling, I'm never derogatory. I'm never condescending or cutting them down. I'm telling them the truth. And then I almost always follow up with this. You got to believe what I believe about you until you can believe it for yourself. Now get out there and do what I know you can do. That's what you do. You get out there and do what I know you can do. And then guess what? They go right back out there and do exactly what they're supposed to do. and we scored a point. One kid came off, he took off a play. Oh, okay, you just gonna take off. I went off. Now we're in the same situation. Time out. Bring that kid. I said, now I'm about to give you a chance to redeem yourself. Now, last time we was down here, you took a play off. Last time we was down here, Brandon Mack, JV player shout out. I got to say his name because he deserves this shout out. You get a chance to redeem yourself. Brandon Mack, the next time we were in the red zone, he did exactly what he had done all week. And it allowed his teammate, Josiah Knight, one of our new captains, another shout out, to score his first touchdown of the season.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. JV players are young men, but they are young men who come to the team with a lot of fears that have been embedded in them since they were kids. Now they're playing a sport where they don't have a right to have fear, and where fear destroys their confidence. I've got to fight their fear so that their confidence can be where it ought to be for themselves as young men. And if I don't challenge their fears, if I let their fears have weight, they'll never be confident. And a young man who doesn't have confidence will make a lot of immature decisions. And the prison system is filled with young men who made immature decisions because they gave in to fears that were never checked, that were never challenged. Well, football gives me the excuse to address some of those issues, and those young men overcome their fears and become model citizens and great students. And then plus it prepares them for varsity, because at varsity level, you cannot play with a single doubt of fear in yourself. It will not work well for you, and it will not work well for your teammates. And no coach at the varsity level wants to coach a kid who cannot control, who gives into his fear. So I would have to give a shout out to Brandon Mack for overcoming his fear. I have to give out a shout out to Amari Holbrook. Amari Holbrook did a phenomenal job on the defensive side of the ball. Our entire D line, Alexander, Austin, Miracle. Miracle did a great job. I got to work on his last name because I pronounced it one way and I heard the announcers announce it a different way. Now I'm questioning myself which one of us is actually pronouncing his last name right. And then we have Ezra Bussey. He's getting better. Ezra will be great once he stopped doing his own thing. He has a tendency to outthink his technique and then destroy himself, make decisions he ought not make. But we have the coaching staff to get him in the right direction. Once we get him in the right direction, he'll be fine. But my number one shout out is Samani Roberson. Samani Roberson had a breakout performance. This is a young man whose name has come up probably every week as it relates to being a JV called up to varsity. He did spend some time with varsity in the spring in 7-on-7s and things of that nature. He has had some teammates called up. He has not been called up, and I don't want him called up because I need him. But part of my assignment is to prepare JV athletes to play varsity football immediately, and so I take that seriously. But his performance, 4 touchdowns, 3 of them on offense, 1 of them on defense. Considering some of the things he's going through in life, considering, some of the doubts he had about himself, it was a wonderful sign of health to see him perform the way he performed. It was bigger than his performance on the football field Friday. Was a peephole into how more healthy his life overall is going to be. I'm very proud of it. Very proud of it. So those are my JV shout outs. All right. You have any other shout outs, Seth?
Nope.
All right. Peace Day Classic. Chandra, you going to come with us to Atlanta in December?
We're going to definitely try because it's right after Christmas, right?
Yeah, we leave like the day after Christmas. The actual game this year is going to be on a Monday. Now, I don't know if it's Monday afternoon or Monday night. So I got to figure that out because I got to figure out the flight back home. But we are definitely working on getting an Airbnb. So like if you come with your family and my family, trying to get Devonna, our sister, our cousin sister, trying to get her family to come. And then we can all kind of stay at the same place, have some fun out there in Homer,
for sure.
Homer, Georgia, Commerce, Georgia area for the Peach State Gridiron Classic. For those who aren't familiar with it, the Peach State Classic is a nationwide. It has become a nationwide All-American football game. It is played right after Christmas. Seth is been invited for the second year in a row. Last year he had a touchdown in that game and he only played the defensive side of the ball. This year there are expectations for him in an all-star game to play both sides of the ball. So we'll see how it goes.
All
but
three stages.
You definitely want to follow Recruit NE, which stands for Northeast _ GA, which stands for Georgia. Recruit Northeast _ Georgia. Again, the Peach State Gridiron Classic was just for Northeastern Georgians. And then in its first year, it just kind of blew up to something bigger than just Northeast Georgia. Coach Lamar Daniels is put together a phenomenal organization of recruiters, and they are formative. They are doing a great job getting underexposed athletes known to colleges all over the country. And so I am the head coach of Team Dream, and we are the reigning champions. We won last year. We do expect to go back and win again. And I would love for my sister to be there, her and her family. I would love to spend that time with them and watch us win it again. That'd be really nice.
I'm sure we can make that happen.
Yeah, we can make that happen.
Time to go on another two-peat.
We do. All right, final shout outs. Chandra, you're our special guest. Give us your shout outs.
Shout out to my chocolate brownie man with your 3 touchdowns. You're a effing legend. And then we're gonna shout out my husband, who's somewhere behind the scenes trying to be my executive producer. But shout out to Cameron, who's behind the door. And shout out to my daughters, Carrington and Camille. And of course, our mother, who gave birth to us twins. Yes.
You are not. Only twins for 2 weeks.
And then, of course, I got a shout out to my one and only niece, Deja, and my sister, Letitia. Where are they? Shout out to them. I love them so much.
You know what they both do during the broadcast?
What? Go
About 30
shopping?
minutes before the broadcast, they leave the house.
Yeah, good.
They'll go to Trader Joe's and listen and watch the broadcast in Trader Joe's or some other spot. So they just take this time to go shopping. I think my wife buys stuff during the week so she can return it during the broadcast, listen to the broadcast while she's returning stuff. She just right before the broadcast started, she came into the studio and she told me, I'm about to go to so-and-so in such a place to turn this in. What is it that I don't even know you bought that. You know what else?
On a need to know basis.
You know what else she's been doing? You know how we have this couch in our room, right? And typically when she's folding clothes, she puts it on the couch before it goes to the drawers. You know what she's been doing?
What?
Buying stuff, folding it, and putting it on the couch with the clothes that she cleaned.
Yeah, smart woman.
That's cool. I'm
You
like,
don't need to know the details.
she put on something from. I'm like, hey, it has a tag on it. Oh, I didn't know the tag was still on it. I've had it for a while. I have never seen it before. Funny. All right, Seth, your shout outs.
I gotta shout out the guest. Shout out my Auntie Chandra, man. Shout out.
Love you.
Man, it's busy. It's definitely still gonna be a long journey. And I am gonna take you up on that offer on asking you questions. Well, you asking me questions here and there. Definitely gotta get my skills up because I struggled a little bit.
No, I think you got embarrassed a little bit, but that's okay.
A little bit.
You were cute with it. That's all that matters.
We got to get your Uncle Cameron because I understand inside he flies drones.
Yeah, he does.
I ain't talking about them little cheapy drones. He flied in real drones for real drones.
Yeah.
We got to get him. We got to get him out here to do some drone work.
Don't gas him up.
I'm just saying. He can do it. He can do it. That's my guy. That's my karaoke buddy.
Oh yeah.
All right, you guys. Let me give my shout out to my sister. I love you, girl.
I love you too, brother.
and never, my promise, forever, we will never ever be separated.
Ever.
We will never have main holidays where we're not together. That's
Without each other.
Don't forget to follow on Instagram, Seth Quinn Evans on Instagram and on X, also Bitter Cup Media. We love y'all. God bless y'all. Until next time, America, father plus son plus football.
And Auntie.
No, I can't ever stop. I so ride to the I took chance after chance after chance. How you back up, yo? Treat them just like an app in the same section with Pacific Black 99 under my motherfucker. Oh, I'm a chicken new toe. I can never ever fall. So for the cup, ass sticky situation. But if it goes, I'm sold off the soul. I put down and I go. I just stay with the flow, $50,000 go. Me for sure. I do what it takes. Confidential when I'm dealing with me. I do what it takes. Avocado with a big of your face. I do what it takes.